What's good, fam? Oh
Let's
man,
go.
I feel like I haven't seen you bros in about a month. It has been a month actually, but it feels like a month.
Mm-hmm.
Like a little
Yeah.
summer hiatus. And so, how are you guys been taking care of yourself? What's been your self-care regimen? What have you been doing to bring yourselves joy?
Oh man,
Yeah.
it's been good. I spent a week in Jamaica with my family.
Yaman.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it was good. It was really good vibes. The weather was perfect, and it was just nice to be somewhere where the energy was just very calm and serene and beautiful. Got to spend some time with some family too, so that was good.
Yeah. The energy in Jamaica is always super chill. I always feel like that ancestral call when I'm in Jamaica, but I also feel the same way when I'm in Puerto Rico. Big
Yeah.
dog, what's happening, man? How you doing? What's been bringing you joy?
Speaking of Puerto Rico, I spent a week in Puerto Rico while she was in Jamaica, and I was, just being in touch with the ancestors, taking everything slow, spending lots of time on beaches, drinking a lot of frozen drinks, letting the kids do their thing in the pool and on the beach. It was great to slow down after what has been a, a long 6 months.
Yo, bro, this has been one of the longest 6 months that this has been one of the longest 6 month tenures that I could say that I've endured in a
Yeah, man.
presidential. Yeah, but anyway, I don't want to talk about him. Because he don't want to talk about Epstein. So since he don't want to talk about that, then
Nothing to see here.
Yeah, nothing to see here. So that makes it. So we're talking about decision making for data informed decision making for nonprofits and so what are y'all's initial thoughts? I know I threw it out there, but what are y'all's initial thoughts about using data to inform your practice?
Steve, why don't you go first?
Listen, I mean, I think data is critical, and I think different types of data. I think the worst thing we can do is look to one data element to make critical decisions. I think the more important a decision, the more you need to look at different levels of data, different types of data to help inform that decision. We use a lot of both, what I would say, objective data and subjective data here at in my organization, helping us think about not just what's happening and the yeses, nos, and the clicks and up and down, but some of the stories that help us understand why those things are happening. And so I think it's really critical. I think evidence-based decision making is probably the most important thing a senior leader can do in their organization, and you should be setting up structures to make that part of your daily regimen.
Yeah.
So everything that you described is everything that's not happening currently in our federal government. Yeah.
As I often tell my team, data is not going to make the decision for you, but it will inform decision. You can choose to make the decision any way you want.
Yeah.
Or you could just not look at the data at all and just let everybody die.
I mean, that's it.
So, G, where are you at?
I mean, I'm in a similar boat. I was just actually doing some the not fun side of data driven decision making, which is the data reporting itself. I had to fill out something for the state that I should have filled out a couple days ago. But I think having that information readily available allows you to make decisions. And it was my opinion that was important for a long time, but it wasn't until recently that we actually kind of put some infrastructure around it. And you invest in people who can help you analyze and understand that data, to put it in, package it in ways that help people make those decisions most effectively. And so that's an important part of the work. And collecting the data is sometimes an underrated part of that process.
Yeah.
Data quality.
So, but for me, I think I guess postdoctoral work or whatever, like collecting that data is kind of fun now, right? Like it wasn't always that way, but like now being able to kind of look at that data and say, all right, well, here's the story that it tells, right? And then you got some people that are like masters at creating like these data visualizations or whatever, and like it's super cool to see like what people are doing with data. So, you know, it could definitely be used to inform the story.
Yeah.
Also, you know, it's coming along that time. You know, two people on this podcast are neck and neck in terms of where we are. You know, and so it's coming down to that time where, you know, test scores and data from New York State's about to be released or whatever.
Oh, that's why you were asking me about that.
That's like that. I mean, I think it's a good. I mean, it's the state data is a good example of what I think is important. Like good data visualization, good data and reporting answers 3 questions for you: what's happening, what does it mean, and what do I do now? Right. Yeah. And if those 3 things aren't answered by sort of the data you're receiving, then you either have to think differently about the visualization or you need to collect more data.
Yeah.
Agreed. But so here's my push for school leaders, not Graham, but for other school leaders, right? Because I know he's doing this, and I know he's not using this as an excuse to not do what he needs to do.
Yeah.
And so, you know, you'll hear folks with regards to like state test data. Oh, it doesn't come back until whenever it comes back, right? Because some years you may not get it until November. But you know, you really don't need it in terms of making informed decisions if your hand is on the if your fingers are on the pulse. And what I mean by that is if you're doing your internal assessments and you have your internal data, like your last wave of internal assessments should have already helped you put together what RTI is going to look like, what those tiered learning groups are going to look like coming into the school year. So you shouldn't be waiting for state test data in order to say, hey, I need this data in order to group my kids.
Yeah.
Not at all. Right. And then also New York State, it give you raw scores. And so if you go in and you look at the data and you compare it to how kids performed the previous year, I mean, they do funky things with cut scores sometimes, but the cut scores have been consistent the last couple of years. And so you're able to make informed decisions in terms of like how your students are doing. One of the things that I did this year, shout out to Eastern Suffolk BOCES. They do a real good job with providing us with data in comparison, right? Yeah. And so what I did was I compared how our students mastered standards from 23-24 versus 24-25. And so like we have the overall scores in terms of like how they performed overall. And so that right there gives me a clear indication on if we improved or if we didn't improve, right? Mm-hmm. And so what I will say is this. My man to the right of me, you got a problem that's going to happen when these scores release, sir. You got a problem.
Students are learning across the board. That's good. Students are learning across the board. That's good. That's good.
Listen, I already told my board. I told my board on Wednesday. I said, like blue ribbon status for me, for us. You don't want a leader like me to have a blue ribbon school. You don't want that. Yo, I will be a nightmare for people if we ever reach blue ribbon status out here.
When Ricky Henderson won the stolen base championship, he stood up on the base and he said, "Yesterday Ty Cobb was the best. Today Ricky is." And somehow,
yeah. Is that what you're getting? Are you feeling that right now? Am I giving off Ricky?
Giving off Ricky feelings?
Hey, you know what else Ricky? You know what else Ricky Henderson did? I would never do is that he took $1 million check, his first $1 million check, and he put it on the wall and he never cashed it.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
I'm not doing that. No. I'm catching that.
G's coming for you. That's all I'm hearing.
I mean, I need to see the bulletin board in their teacher room. Sound like Forte Prep is just like right there with like a quote Like
not at all. Not at all. It's yo, hey,
nah. You living rent free in his head, G. You living rent free in that head.
He's not living rent free in my head, bro. Because like if we're doing point by point comparison from grade 5 to 12 or 5 to whatever has you, like last year he caught me slipping because in 3rd grade we didn't do what we needed to do. And so if you're looking at the whole school picture, right? And then like this guy, he puts things in the chat and he wants to try to hide his hand to act like he's not doing these things.
G, he's chasing you the way the administration is chasing the distraction story.
Listen, I think it's good when you have school leaders that are able to have that point of comparison in terms of having a high bar for excellence, and then for them to be single sites. Like so we're single site charter schools. We don't have a CMO. We don't have the glory of the resources that some CMOs have in terms of being able to pool resources and do all the things. And so the fact that we are competitive in nature, it just speaks to how passionate we are about the work. So yeah.
Iron sharpens iron, man.
Yeah, for sure. I rocks with Forte Prep. They're doing good stuff. So give us an update on the building, man, because we're seeing towers and green things, and what's happening?
Yo, it's green things.
it's coming together,
leaves and stuff.
It's coming together. The entire kind of exterior facade is totally completed now. They haven't put the like metal panels, but like the whole structure is done. They've installed the windows, and they started to do the interior framing, and like all the like electrical plumbing is starting to come in. Like they're probably like, I don't know, 70% of the way through construction or something like that, roughly. And so it's cool. I got to take our high school leadership team over there for the first time at the end of June, because they've been hearing me talk about the school and they've seen pictures or whatever, but actually being in the building with them and be like, yeah, this is like where you're going to do school. And like, to be clear, like just having this nice building doesn't make the school nice, but like it will hopefully be worthy of the program that we put inside it. And so I'm excited about that. And
we allowed to have nice stuff. We can have nice stuff. That's okay.
We absolutely allowed to have nice things.
We can have nice things, but that doesn't make it a good school.
That doesn't make it a good school. Gee, I got one question: is the Wi-Fi going to be tight? Because sometimes your Wi-Fi over there will be killing us.
It's a work in progress. It's a work in progress.
A work in progress? What, bro? What?
We're having talks with our IT people right now. Make sure it's on point.
I'm not trying to get nobody in trouble. I'm just saying.
I felt like you just did. And I know his IT people, so I was about to call her name out.
Please don't do that.
No, my messy days are gone. I'm not calling her names out.
Man, too funny.
So Graham, real quick, I'm gonna allow for you to put your sign up, your disavow sign, but I gotta talk about this only because these are your label mates. And so since they're your label mates, I know you can't really speak on this, but Steve, this is right in your backyard, bro. And so I don't know if you know, but there's some charter schools that are popping up in Brentwood and all the things, bro. And so I thought these places were untouchable. Like the places where I'm seeing charter schools popping up, I'm like, damn, really? You can get a charter school there?
They didn't pop up in CI though. You didn't see
that? Yes.
Wow. Because usually that union has things on lock.
You already know. Know. And so, but see, here's what that does, right? We're now in the mode of taking strays, right? We're taking stray shots, and we're just trying to mind our business and just do what we got to do for our kids, right?
You so now, blue ribbon, you taking those strays, you bulletproof now.
But what it has taught me is this: It's like if you can't beat them, join them. And so next year, hey, Graham, I might be on the label.
Wow.
He about to sign up. Sign up.
Hey, listen, hey, when you got Suge Knight talking about, hey, if you want to come over to Death Row, and you don't want nobody dancing in your videos.
Listen, shout out to Brentwood, BW. They need all the support they can on the academic side, and so listen.
Yeah.
As long as it's gonna, hopefully it makes everybody up their game up in that community.
See, but that is the element of charter schools, parochial schools, and non-public schools that we don't get and we don't tap into, right? Like it should be competitive in nature, and it forces you to be better as a school, right? As opposed to you having this brain dead argument of, oh, you're siphoning money from the traditional public schools. Like traditional public schools have failed some of these families for generations, right? When you got a great grandma, a grandma, and a mama that are reading below 8th grade reading level, and they all went to the same schools, bro, it's like we got to change something. We got to change the narrative in order for these babies to have a fighting chance, because we're seeing writ large. It's a intentional dumbing down of the electorate, right?
Yeah, but this is like college, right? The whole point is that while there is a school for everybody, not every school is for every student, right? And so forget about the idea that the public vs private. Some students need different atmospheres, need different approaches to be successful. So instead of putting schools and buildings at the center of education, let's put students at the center of education and allow those students to identify the learning environments that's going to help them be successful in life. I got a friend who always says, kids can't read because adults can't get along. And this is the perfect example of when those things happen, because adults are fighting over things and it's not student focused. And I'm not here for that anymore. I'm tired of it. Like, what's best for students is what we should be doing.
I got a friend that says black and brown kids are the new cotton. Just saying.
Yeah.
Just when you exert power over a whole body of people, and you say to them, like, you do not have the wherewithal to make choices about your kids. Only I'm smart enough to do that. What are you telling these parents? Like, what are you saying to these parents? It's like you're not feeling their pain. You're not being empathetic to their needs, and that's why they're leaving these districts in droves and they're not coming back. For me, I'm gonna study this. If I'm a traditional superintendent of a traditional public school system, I'm going to study what they're doing at these charter schools. I'm going to talk to these union folks, and I'm like, listen, we got to get some of these kids back. And the way that we're going to be able to get some of these kids back is by you guys giving a little in order for us to extend our programming, in order to bring these parents in order for it to be a welcoming environment. Bro, if I ever went through Broad and took over a traditional school system, bro, I got a plan. You kidding me? Especially if I'm in, I could change Hempstead around, bro. I have these kids coming back to the district.
Yeah. That's also the you're bringing up a good point, is that the reason that families are looking for other options because they might be dissatisfied with what's available, and like you give them a better option, they're not gonna leave. Like that school might open, but then it'll be under a hold, and they'll have to shut because they're not actually offering something that people want, and they think it's a better option for them. And so that's always been my thing, and like, label mates aside, like I really do think that increasing the number of options for families is ultimately is the goal. So,
okay, but here's my push for that, right? If we're increasing the options and you're not increasing the options is one thing. School replication is two totally different things. Yeah. Right. And so if you're starting from ground zero and you're increasing the options, I hear you. But if you're replicating, then I need to have seen you have some success.
Yeah.
Right? Over a period of time before you say anything to me about replicating anything. So if for example, you've never had state test scores, I don't want to hear shit from you talking about replication. Nothing. I don't want to hear zero, zilch, nada. Don't even come in my face.
I don't think Ray's going to death row.
I'm going to death row though. I'm going to death row because I have replication numbers. So like I got the numbers for replication. So I'm coming to death row. I'm coming to. Hey, listen. I'm coming to death. Hey, I'm gonna be the Tupac of death row.
Can I dance in your video?
Yeah, absolutely. California love, baby.
Oh my god.
They're gonna hate me in death row. They might kick me off the label.
Yeah, I don't know. Your advance will be pretty small, but they'll keep you on the label.
Hey, listen. Because I'm indie right now, you know what I'm saying? I don't really need a big advance. I done sold 1 million records, baby. All right, it's Nick time, man. And so we got a head coach.
Data-based decision making.
Yeah. So we have a head coach. Not necessarily the coach that I would have selected, but we have a head coach. He has Mike Brown. He has been around the league. He has, I think, 2 chips as an assistant coach. And he's turned a couple franchises around. I thought before he was fired from Sacramento, I thought the Kings were playing well. But it just goes to show you that these players run these locker rooms and not necessarily these coaches.
I mean, what I think. Look, the Knicks have made a big bet, right? They fired a head coach who took them to, who had big winning seasons 2 years in a row. Took them this year to the league champ, to the division championships,
Eastern Conference
conference finals, and like they made a big chance. What they said was, we're not playing. Like, that's not good enough. And we have a coach that is leading to 2 problem areas. One, overrunning our people. Yeah. And it's a flat half-court game. And they brought in a coach who's not going to play that, that's not that style. Is not going to play that flat half-court game. It's going to keep these running and gunning. I think the Kings will have 100 possessions a game when he was coaching, where the Knicks had 70 or 80 this year on average. And so you're talking about somebody who wants to play up-tempo basketball, wants to create space for his players so that not everybody's just crowding in, right, as people go to the hole.
Yeah.
What do you think about some of these free agent acquisitions we made?
Yo, ever since Yabusele dunked on LeBron in the Olympics, I've been like, team Yabusele. I think that guy is a dog. He can play the 5. He can also provide some space, and he's got that old man at the park 3-point shot. Let me get the block. Let me get the 3-point shot. It develops real slow, but. He's a good player, and I think he will shore up that second unit really well, because we just really didn't have any depth last season. And
no second unit.
Yeah.
So well, I don't know if it was no second unit. Like Miles McBride on the second unit. Miles McBride is a dog, bro. And so let's not.
But he can't do it all himself.
No,
but he can't do it all himself, right? I mean,
yeah. No, you're right. But Jordan Clarkson. Even though some of my boys in my other group chats, they say that he's a nut, that he shoots too much, and that he's a ball hog, and that but I think if you're playing on Mike Brown's team, not only are you going to have to be an offensive threat, but you're going to have to be a defensive threat as well. Like, you're going to have to be able to come out and play some D in order to get playing time. And so one of the last roster spots that they're talking about now is Shamet, Landry Shamet. They're talking about him, and so one of the stats that I saw in terms of this whole Landry Shamet argument is that on 100 possessions, teams have scored 109 times against him. So that's how bad his defense is. His defense is terrible. Right? Yeah, I don't even know. But that's the stat I read. I'm like, damn. He must really be a bad defensive player.
Oh man.
They call him the Matador. He just moves. Go right by.
Yes. And so, but one of the things that we're talking about now is an organization. I'm talking like I'm there with them. But
One of the things you're talking about in closed door meetings.
Yeah. Hey, as a season ticket holder, I feel like I can have these conversations. But so one of the things they're talking about is Ben Simmons. So this conversation about Ben Simmons and I'm thinking if we could get Ben Simmons, that might just be it. But in terms of like improvement and of folks that need to improve, like what are y'all thoughts on Bodega Cat? Like, what does he need to do to improve?
I mean, I thought he was. I thought he played really well. I'm surprised that they didn't involve him in more pick and roll, like 2-man game. I feel like he would be really beneficial in that. Like nobody was like really kind of involving him, tossing him lobs, that kind of stuff. I know that's not really Jalen Brunson's game, but I feel like that could help open him up so that he can drive to the hoop a little bit more and play like a big man instead of just shooting threes on one dribble. So
throw him a lob so he can do what? He's not above the. He's not an above the rim.
He's 7 feet tall. He's 7 foot tall.
He's not an above the rim player, or at least he's not playing like he is.
I mean, he's already above the rim.
I think the problem is that he's not a half-court player, right? This is the problem: is that he's not going to hit a three when everybody's crowding around him. There's no real movement. The ball's not moving. Nobody's like this half-court game where they run every sort of clock down. They run the clock out in every play, and so it's left to one of them to have to make a miraculous play to score a point. Is it going to get you anywhere?
Yeah.
Not particularly against West Coast teams, Western Conference teams. And so it's really important. So I do think that an up-tempo style, if he's taking 6-7 3-point attempts a game, I think he's going to make a lot more because he's going to be making them in transition. He's going to be a lot more open.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay. All right. And what about I feel like in that series against Indiana, I feel like Brunson was exposed. I felt like Nethard
or tired,
exposed or tired, one or the other, right? But like it felt like it was real easy to get hands on the ball, and there's some things that he may need to do in terms of like shoring up his handle and making sure that he's making good decisions with the ball. Plus, like he's very ball dominant, and so like how do you have a player like that and then kind of force them to not be as ball dominant as they are?
Yeah. I mean, I think part of it is we'll see how he adapts to that move the philosophy of Mike Brown, because I think like he's gonna have to adjust his game. Like he'll still be counted on, relied on in those like clutch moments, like end of the shot clock, like end of the half, end of the fourth quarter kind of moments. But hopefully this new approach kind of avoids them getting into these situations so often, because the only reason he's the clutch player of the year is because they were down or tied like at the end of every game,
needed him to
all season.
Yeah, you're that's 1,000. You're 1,000% correct on that.
And every time he sat in the playoffs, right? That's when their leads. Every time they lost the lead is when he was sitting, right?
Yeah.
And so like, what are you gonna do? He has to be clutch. There's no other choice.
Yeah. No, that's good stuff. Yo, I missed y'all, man. Yo, we back now, though. We back.
Yeah. Well, the one thing I'll say too before we go is like, if this isn't the clearest year to have a path to the NBA Finals, I don't know what it is. With Halliburton's hurt, with the Achilles, with the injuries on the Celtics,
Tatum,
Tatum's injuries.
Yeah.
Like, my sense is that like this is the clearest pathway to a Finals that they'll have. Right,
Yeah.
And so it's this year or it's nothing.
Yeah.
And I'm not. You listen. Midway through the season, if this Bridges thing is not working, man, we got to get him up out of here.
Yeah.
All right. Final thoughts.
You talking about Ben Simmons? What Ben Simmons? Anyway.
Nah, Ben Simmons is a threat, man. Don't get it twisted, yo. I'm telling you, man. Ben Simmons, yo, he ready for the lights. All right, G. Final thoughts.
My biggest thing is a little personal success recent. I did a blood test recently, did some blood work, and my A1C number went down, and that was like a big
nice.
I've been doing a lot of like management of my glucose and like just trying to make some better decisions about what and when I eat, and the work paid off, and so that was exciting to see.
That's what's up, bro.
Yeah.
Congrats, Steve.
We got a little graduation party for my niece who graduated, and this weekend, and I'm excited just to be around family and to celebrate not just the personal achievement for a family member, but another example of why I do the work I do every day is to help students achieve that success. And so this weekend I get to have sort of a unique blending of the personal and professional, and I'm super excited about that.
Yeah. All right. I might get a little controversial here. All right. So along the same veins as my fraternity brother Shaquille O'Neal, RG3, you keep Angel Reese's name out of your effing mouth, bro. Because if not, I'll punch you in the face too, bro.
That's funny.
All right, folks. We'll see you next week.